can't beat Robotnik as long as he's got that emerald. He's too powerful!
Many people who watched the first and second Sonic movies have admitted that it was the most effective game-to-film translation yet from the embattled genre. Even though it may seem that Sonic film is more for kids, after watching this video, you'll realize that there were so many details and scenes that were made for adults. Shall we start?
And if you want that emerald, you're gonna have to go through me.
Kids probably don't really pay attention to who exactly voices their favorite character. For them, the plot itself and the animation is way more important. But many adults notice that Sonic's friend Tails had a woman's voice, which is such a common thing when movie directors decide to let women voice preteen boys' characters. For example, Bart Simpson and Timmy Turner were voiced by women. As for Tails, a veteran voice actress, Colleen, who voiced the two-tailed fox from the very first moment the character was introduced, brought him to life this time around as well. The actress has begun her career in the early 90s via a series called Sailor Moon and Digimon, and older fans may recognize her voice because she has been voicing Tails in various games for almost a decade now. 2014 was the year when she first voiced Tails in Sonic games, and since then she returned to bring Tails to life every time it was needed. Of course, kids wouldn't notice that, but for adults, it is such nostalgia to hear her voice.
You poor, naive creature. It's not your fault. A more advanced intellect would have seen this move coming a mile away.
Never trust Robotnik. He is a genius, but he is a vicious genius. That is why he knew how to make Knuckles trust him and turn him against Sonic. Even though their duo seems a bit unbelievable, but Eggman manages to team up with the red hair Echidna. Eggman knew that Knuckles had always hated the Eagle Clan that raised Sonic and used his hatred for his own sake. The villain offered Knuckles a deal that seemed to be a pretty simple one, but adults knew from the start that Robotnik couldn't be trusted and that he'll definitely betray Knuckles. But Knuckles is so naive that he doesn't see what Robotnik is capable of. Even though the red hair Echidna becomes Sonic's biggest enemy, they eventually end up being good friends.
Giving up already? Not so tough when you're fighting someone 700 times your size, are you?
Events in the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie begin with Robotnik getting adapted to his new reality on the Mushroom Planet. Interestingly, this evil guy even manages to find a new friend who reminds many of us of Wilson from the 2000 Tom Hanks movie Castaway. This is another detail that only adults will notice in the movie. If you watch Castaway, you might remember that a lonely FedEx delivery man, played by Tom Hanks, becomes friends with a volleyball. He nicknames him Wilson and even paints a face on him. So a funny Rube Goldberg machine from Sonic 2 can also be called Robotnik's quasi-Wilson assisting.
Would you like to see how big a man I can be?
If you have ever played any of the Sonic video games, you'd probably remember that one old one from the Sonic Hedgehog spin-off game was called Dr. Robotnik Mean Bean Machine. So the reference is obvious. The Mean Bean Cafe was called after it. No wonder the cafe becomes the home base of Robotnik and Agent Stone's evil efforts, furthering the connection. Here is one interesting fact about the Mean Bean. It was released on Sega Genesis in '93, and it's basically a Tetris Dr. Mario ripoff. The idea of the game is easy. You have to match up beans in groups to clear the board. This reference is a little fun nod to the old times, plus we should admit that Stone's lattes look delicious.
I don't want to fight you, but you're not giving me much choice.
The next thing we're going to talk about is not connected with old video games or iconic movies. This is all about Agent Stone. Kids are probably wondering why Stone is so loyal to this crazy man Robotnik, but adults definitely have their own suspicions. If you have some, you can share them with us in the comment section down below. So the relationship between Robotnik and Agent Stone is questionable, especially at the beginning of the movie. The two were separated for a certain period of time, and we can say that Stone was missing Robotnik. He even put fashioned images of the duo into latte foam with hearts, so it made so many adults think that Stone has a crush on Robotnik. Kids probably wouldn't notice that Eggman is probably more than just a boss to him, but if you are grown up, you can see in multiple scenes that Stone has feelings. There was even one scene where Stone was playing virtual dress-up with Robotnik on his computer. He really just wants to see his boss happy, and that is 100% more than his professional desire.
Okay, everybody, take it easy. I'm I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation for whatever my friend said or did.
When the movie just started, we saw Tom being concerned about Sonic's well-being. Our blue speedster felt not okay after settling into Green Hills, and it looks like Sonic has some trouble finding his calling. Sonic is desperate, and he wanted to do whatever it takes to be the hero he thinks everybody needs him to be. As a result, he becomes rudderless, and Tom understands that Sonic needs help. It is really great to have a friend that will stop you from ruining yourself and help you get better as well. Tom says that one day Sonic's time will come and fate will tell him, rather than him making the moment happen. And we see this topic being through the entire movie. Tom decides that one of the best things he can do now for Sonic is to help him find friends that are more like him. And this is how basically Tails and Knuckles enter the story. It's really great to see how Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles have formed bonds and matured together for a greater purpose. And of course, it wouldn't have happened without Tom's help. The fact that Sonic was depressed was probably seen by kids, but Tom was a key factor only adults can notice.
Is everything a joke to you? Why must you constantly interfere with my destiny?
Although many characters in different movies might look unrealistic and don't exist, we can't say the same about Sonic the Hedgehog. We all obviously saw hedgehogs in our lives, but what about echidnas? They also exist on our planet. For so many people, hedgehogs and echidnas may look similar because both of them have spikes to protect them from predators. They're also about the same size and are both mammals. But if you look carefully, you'll see how different they are. An echidna has a thinner, longer muzzle and sharper quills, but a hedgehog has smaller feet, and an echidna wields long toenails. Interestingly, echidna was named after a Greek mythological half-monster character, which is a bit scary. But don't worry, they're also not evil. Also, you can find hedgehogs almost everywhere on our planet. Echidnas can only be found in New Guinea and mainland Australia, along with Tasmania. Sadly, their population is getting smaller, but we hope they won't go extinct. The good thing is that the short-beaked echidna is common and well protected throughout Australia. Of course, not all adults know this information before watching Sonic the Hedgehog, but now you can explain it to your kids.
Whoa, the compass!
This will lead us to the emerald!
It's safe to say that Tom plays a huge part in the first film, and he is a very important character in the second one as well. But in Sonic 2, he's absent from the first half of Sonic's adventure in the sequel. Why? Because Tom and his wife Maddie are in Hawaii for her sister Rachel's wedding. Sonic wasn't very upset to stay home alone because he could do whatever he wanted, taking bubble baths along with the dog and making skate ramps in the living room. Everyone seems to be happy and busy, but things change a bit when Sonic video calls Tom and interrupts the wedding. Sonic needed Tom's help and he asked him for it. It turns out that when Tom left for Hawaii, Sonic gave him a magic ring so that he could later teleport home at the end of his vacation. But things got really complicated and he needed Tom to teleport right now. But the thing is that Tom accidentally turned the magic ring for the ceremonial one when he was playing around with the flower girl, pretending to pull one of the ceremonial rings from behind her ear. Not many kids spotted the switch, but we're more than sure that adults did.
Trained it from downtown! See, I told you nobody would get hurt.
Is there anything you would have added to our list? Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Growing up, I didn't have any friends. Everyone in my village thought my two tails were weird.